get a trade for this name too. Charles Moon is with us, stock strategist, Prosper Trading Academy, and you have an example trade for us on UPS. Some of your thoughts there.
Yeah, just kind of following up on some of these comments here, but it's really true. The stock being down so much, expectations have been lowered. Now, UPS has certainly looked to improve margins, cut costs, and this is where the surprise could come in. Especially with expectations being so low, it's a lot easier for them to beat expectations. Now, guidance, of course, is always going to be the driver of the stock price. That's something we have to be attentive of. But from a technical standpoint, with the implied move on the stock, there's some really good movement and ability for the stock to break out as high as $112 this week off of earnings. Now, of course, if they disappoint or slash dividends, or more importantly, continue to retract on their key fundamentals, this is where the markets could really effectively punish the stock, and then we could see a big drop. So I really like the ability to play both sides, because there could be a move greater than what the options market is expecting. So I'm looking at the 108 100 strangle here. You could probably get it for 380 or less. Now, because it's reporting so early this week, you have the ability, in case it does say sideways, in case it doesn't move, maybe the market is just not impressed but not disappointed, you could actually probably get out at a 50-60% loss. But obviously, if this works out, we're looking to capture right around 25 to 50% based on the exaggerated move that this stock can make. The downside is as deep as almost $90. The upside is as high as 112 here in the near term.
Okay. Thanks for that. All right, so we'll watch for that for tomorrow. How do you feel about the market action thus far? I just heard Morgan Stanley said that we could hit 7,200 next year now on the S&P, that's possible. We did hit 6,400 this morning, new record high. Some of your thoughts on the market action and what could propel us higher, if that's where you think we could be headed?
Yeah, I think Morgan Stanley is actually very optimistic. They're also looking at the Fed to make pretty aggressive rate cuts for 2026. So I guess that's where the projection would be based on the heels of those rate cuts. As of now, there's nothing that's really slowing this market down. We're getting the deals that we need to get. We just established the EU deal. We extended the deadline to work with China. India is next in line, I guess. Obviously, any kind of geopolitical issues, such as, maybe war breaking out in the Middle East, these are things that could be slowdown points for the overall markets, but trajectory right now has been really good. It seems that the market has kind of priced in the idea of tariffs as of now. We'll have to see what kind of impact that'll have on earnings. But, so far so good. This market has just been in this low volume grind up. We've been trending strong, and there's really just been no slowdown, even on news. So it just seems like the market is very optimistic, not just for the rest of this year, but going forward.
I am still seeing headlines that Trump is growing less patient with Putin, that he wants to shorten the deadline to end the Ukraine war. That's sort of a bit of a wild card in the area where everything else seems to be going well. I mean, the tariff deals are coming in. You have the EU, we had Japan, you have them talking to China. You sound like you're more positive than negative, right, overall?
Yeah, 100%. Even with this deadline, I believe he actually just said we're going to give him about 10 to 12 days in relation to President Putin to try and come and make this deal with Ukraine. I don't believe that the sanctions are going to be too severe. Even if they are, what kind of, negative impact will that have for corporations? A lot of corporations have already pulled out of Russia. So I don't think the bottom line impact is going to be as negative. It's more of the geopolitical issues. And again, I think that's just something that the market's going to react to short term, but eventually absorb, and then we're just going to keep on moving forward here.
Okay. Charles Moon, Prosper Trading Academy, thank you so much. It's great to see you.